Hello there, my name is Shaq. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the manoeuvres in the new driving test. The new driving test will start from Monday the 4th of December 2017. It will consist of 4 manoeuvres, out of which the examiner will choose only one. The first manoeuvre, which is the parallel park exercise, will remain exactly the same as the old test, so there are no changes to that at all. The second manoeuvre will be the reverse into a marked bay. Now this is the same as the old test, however it will have an add-on. Once you reverse parked into a bay, the examiner will ask you to drive forwards out of the bay. The next 2 manoeuvres are completely new. The first of the new manoeuvres is to drive forward into a marked bay, and once you've driven forward into the marked bay, the examiner will then ask you to reverse out of it. The final manoeuvre seems relatively straightforward, but in fact can be very challenging. In this manoeuvre, the driving examiner will ask you to pull up on the right hand side of a road behind a parked car, to reverse back for a short distance, and then to drive off again. So those are the manoeuvres in the new driving test. Many learner drivers worry unnecessarily about the manoeuvres. The thing to remember is that the driving examiner is only marking you on 2 things, and 2 things alone. The first of those things is control of the vehicle. Now let me give you a little example. If you're doing the parallel park exercise, control of the vehicle only means to park relatively close to the curb, parallel to the curb, without hitting it, and within the distance, within the 2 car lengths of distance. If you felt that you were going to hit the curb, you can use the first gear and simply go forward and correct the mistake. That is allowed in the driving test. Even if you touch the curb, and I mean touch and not hit the curb, you would still pass the driving test for that. Now many learner drivers ask me, what is the difference between touching and hitting the curb? The answer is the speed. If you were to do the manoeuvre at crawling speed, that would be a touch. Any faster and it could easily become a hit. Now earlier on I said the examiner was marking you on 2 things. So control is first of them. Observation is the second. Observation is just as important, if not more important, than the manoeuvre itself. If you go wrong with the manoeuvre, that can be corrected. However, if you go wrong with the observations, it's usually too late to correct the mistake. Regardless of which manoeuvre that you're doing, it is advisable that you have your window fully open during the exercise. There are many reasons for this. One of them is that you may hear the traffic approaching before it even comes to sight. Also, with the window open, you can pop your head out and have a look, especially on this pulling up on the right exercise, where you're expected to reverse back. By having the window open, you can actually see the curb on your right. Now we're all aware, or we should be aware, that you must make all-round observations, 360-degree observations, before starting a manoeuvre. Where many learners drivers go wrong is that they forget to make the observation at the end of the manoeuvre prior to moving off again. This is particularly important in the bay park exercise. So you've done all the observations and you reversed into a bay. Then from the 4th of December, the examiner will expect you to drive out of the bay. Make sure you make all the observations again, 360-degree observations, before driving out of the bay. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the new maneuver where the examiner will ask you to pull up on the right seems relatively easy, but can be quite challenging. The reason for this is that it's hard to see what's coming in the distance, especially because you're on the right hand side of the road, there's a parked car in front of you, and it is difficult. For this reason, having the window open is more important. You may hear the traffic coming well before you see it. I hope you found this video informative. If so, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps us to make more videos. If you're a subscriber, then let me just say thank you. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, please do subscribe so that you do not miss out on our forthcoming videos. Thank you for watching.